first of all, today's Freedom Friday. Freedom Friday is a concept of, as an entrepreneur and a real estate agent, so many years, I would have the month start over at zero. I'd always be working with transactional revenue. What's up, bro?
How you doing?
I'm sitting here waiting on you.
Where?
At the beach. And on January 2nd, 2016, I personally made the decision that I was going to increase my standards. Raising your standards is about saying what was acceptable yesterday is no longer acceptable tomorrow, right? And so I looked and reflected on where I was in my life, and I said, here's the things that I'm going to stop doing. And I got a vision for my life. And in order to create a vision,
it's a lyric from a Fish song.
Yeah. Once you create a vision, they say where there is no vision, the people will perish. Once you get a vision, you start to manifest. Really, your subconscious starts to give you ideas. You start to see things that'll help you make that vision a reality.
He's like, I just want big waves.
And so a lot of the times it's hard to dream when you're trying to survive. And so I started dreaming. I started dreaming about what my perfect life would look like, and what really. It was giving myself the freedom to say, if I had a wishing well or if I could make a wish, what would it be? And and that wish was I wouldn't every single month have to think about where my next deal was going to come from. And once I got into that space where I gave myself permission to escape my current reality to create the future, it's kind of like monkey bars. You got to be able to let go of one to move forward. And when I was able to do that, I created a plan, and fortunately enough for me, that plan was exactly this. Created a logo, which was a lawn chair and a gondola, because I love spending time at the beach and obviously in the mountains. And it was that then turned me into becoming a seeker. I was always a seeker, but I started seeking out solutions. Not any solution, not every opportunity, because they're not all the same. I started looking at the people who lived the life that I wanted to or desired to have, and I started asking what was the difference between the way that they made decisions, what was the difference in their business model, what was the difference in the revenue in which they generated and how they generated. And here's what I came up with. I came up with that there was really two types of revenue. There was leveraged revenue and there was transactional revenue, right? And so I made the conscious decision that I was going to start working for leveraged revenue. And leveraged revenue meant that I was going to get a disproportionate return, meaning once I invested that minute of effort, that I wasn't going to only get money for the time that was invested, that time that would be invested, I'd be willing to invest a disproportionate, a lot more of my time than I did in the past, as long as in the future that I could get a return on that residually every single month afterwards. And that was just a conscious choice. And so what I did was I created Freedom Friday. And what Freedom Friday was that was a day where I was going to work on creating the future. And Freedom Friday then turned into half days, because I went from working all day Friday on engineering this new ability to make decisions, look at opportunities, take advantage of different plans. I used that Friday, but then I started I needed more time. I couldn't get it done. And so I started working from, in the morning and stopping at 10. Then I pushed that to noon. And now a majority of my time is not trying to do something today to get paid tomorrow. I'm not making long-term decisions based on short-term circumstances. And so what I would say to you is that, first of all, that step one is getting a vision for your life, giving yourself the permission to dream, stepping out of your current reality. And a couple of ways that you could do that is you just ask yourself, what would your perfect day be? If you had everything that you needed income-wise, what is the outcomes that you're trying to create? And why are those important? When they don't give us waves, we make our own. I think that's a great little saying. So we're gonna go have fun. What makes those important? For me, it's time, right? Time is the most important. I wanna invest my time, and how you spend your time, are you getting a return on your time? Do you have an ROT? And a lot of the times where we currently are and what we're currently doing can be vectored and be leveraged. And with just a little bit of strategy on how you're living your life, you can slowly but surely end up in a completely different place. You can end up here in beautiful Dorado Beach, Puerto Rico. You could do that in 48 months. But you can only do that if you assume what you're currently doing right now isn't going to get you there, and you give yourself the ability, the time, and the space to create a life-by strategy.
foremost, as soon as you got up, you let off all the way and boom,